بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Welcome my dear students. Today we've got a listening class. Okay, and we're going to listen about falcons. So, do you think falcons are lucrative? I mean, they get people lots of money? Indeed, some falcons are very expensive and they get a fortune to those who hunt them. Well, to talk about professional falcon hunters, this is the aim of our class today, and to know lots of new vocabulary. What kind of equipment do falconers have? What kind of equipment? What do you think? And which hunting season? What is the hunting season for, getting falcons? What is the hunting season for falcons? Is it the winter or the summer? What do you think? What about the popular areas here in Saudi Arabia and in other parts of the world? Where do people go, falcon hunters? Okay, we're going to listen to a recording discussing this, and then we're going to have further discussion. Here we go.
Page 5. 5. Listening. A. Talk about professional falcon hunters. Equipment. Hunting season. Popular areas. B. You are going to listen to an interview with a professional falcon hunter. Answer true or false.
We are here to speak with Mr. Ali, who took up falconry as a profession about 12 years ago. Good afternoon, Mr. Ali. Thank you for agreeing to talk to us about this exciting profession. How did you decide to become a falconer?
Well, having run my own business for a few years, I realized that I wasn't your ideal store owner material. I am not a particularly ambitious person, and being aware of my strengths and weaknesses, I knew that I would gradually become a somewhat unhappy, disgruntled store proprietor, and possibly regret not having tried something else in life. I have always been interested in falconry, and even had an early start through my father. He loved falcons, and used to take me hunting quite often. So I eventually sold my store, bought this powerful, fully equipped SUV, and teamed up with two of my friends who had already joined the profession.
Why did you need this type of car?
Because there's a lot of traveling involved. We set out in September, and we often need to travel for days in search of migratory falcons.
Do you catch other prey while you're hunting?
No, we're not interested in other prey. In fact, we are careful to only hunt in areas where falcon hunting is permitted, and avoid areas that might be marked as wildlife sanctuaries for different species.
Did you have to go through any training?
Absolutely. Falcon hunting is a demanding art. You need to learn and acquire the necessary skills before you become creative and develop your own style. I had a head start because of my father, who was a highly skilled falconer, but I accompanied one of the top hunters in the country as an apprentice for a couple of seasons. I will always be grateful to him and my father for all they taught me.
Where do you stay during a hunt?
In the desert, of course. We pitch our tents in the desert, bring out our supplies, and stay as long as we need at each spot.
Life in the desert must be very harsh, scorching heat by day and bitter cold by night. How do you manage?
The way Arabs have always managed in the desert. As for the cold, it is often welcome after a very hot day, at least for a while. At any rate, we always have a campfire to warm us as we exchange stories about falconry and falcon hunting. It's difficult to explain, but that is when I really feel alive. I often think that my father must have known I would follow in his footsteps someday. He didn't impose it on me, but he never thought I would carry on as a store owner for the rest of my life.
Falcon hunting must be very competitive. I mean, you mentioned sitting around the campfire, I presume with other hunters.
Yes, that's right. There is mutual respect. So we are careful not to cross lines or offend each other. You have to bear in mind, however, that catching a falcon is more often than not a team effort. So come to think of it, we do not compete against each other in an aggressive manner, and we enjoy spending time together during a hunt.
Are these hunting trips profitable enough to tide you over for the remainder of the year, till the next season?
If you're good at it, these trips can be quite lucrative. A falcon can fetch hundreds of thousands of reals, depending on its breed, size, and beauty. The rarer the falcon, the higher the price. But most of us also work as trainers, or do other work the rest of the time.
And do you also fly your own falcon?
Of course. I have a beautiful falcon that is also quite rare. He is my pride and joy.
Thank you very much for your time and all the interesting information.
Thank you.
Alright, dear students. So according to the recording, what kind of equipment do they have? Exactly. They have a good car. They should have a good car. I mean the falcon hunters, because they have long travel in the desert. Also, they should have a net. Okay. They have a campfire. They should be ready with clothing, to combat the cold weather of the desert. And also, they should have some food, some water. They have to be well equipped anyway. What about the season, the hunting season? Yes, Mr. Ali says that they go at the end of September in search for migratory falcons. I've got another question. Does Mr. Ali have his own falcon? Yes, he does. What does he say about him? He says, he is my joy and pride. He likes it so much. Okay. Now, my dear students, do falconers have bilateral and mutual respect? Yes, they do. They often sit around a campfire and tell themselves or tell each other about hunting and falconry. They are careful not to offend each other or cross lines. Right. Again, the question which we asked in the very beginning of the class. Are falcons and falconry lucrative? Do they get lots of money? Yes, indeed. If you are a professional, a falcon can fetch you hundreds of thousands of reals. That's okay. All right. Now, Mr. Ali decided to become a falcon hunter because he didn't see himself very successful as a storeholder. He didn't see himself succeed in that way. He preferred his father's profession. That's okay. Now let's move, and I would like you, before we move to another activity, to decide upon the true or false of these sentences. Mr. Ali used to be a successful store owner. What do you think? He didn't need to buy any equipment for falcon hunting. Is this true or false? Falconry is a natural skill that cannot be acquired through training. Is that right? Falconers camp in a desert or stay in hotels. Falcon hunting is a profitable profession. How far do you agree? Think it over. Yeah, your answers should be like that. All of these sentences are false indeed, except for the last one. falcon hunting is a profitable profession. Yet all the other ones are false according to the recording. Moving to another activity. Listen again and make notes about falcon hunting trips. What about the transport they use? What about their accommodation, their hunting areas? Do they have other prey other than falcons? What kind of competition do they have? Profit, training. What do you think? Do falcon hunters go falconry? Go falcon hunting by bus? Do they go by boat? What do you think? Exactly, they don't go except for by a well-equipped kind of car. Yeah, the car. Accommodation, do they live in hotels? How come they live in hotels in the desert? They live in camps. They live in tents, right. Here we can have a look. Specially equipped car suitable for desert travel. Desert camps, tents, campfire. The hunting areas, what are they? Follow areas where hunting is permitted, not wildlife sanctuaries. Right, so hunting has rules indeed. What kind of prey do they have also other than falcons? It's the migratory falcons only. The competition between falcon hunters is, characterized by mutual respect, cooperation. There is no crossing lines or offend. The profit falcons are very lucrative for good hunters, and the training is necessary indeed, especially for beginners. About you, how much do you know about falcon hunting? What is your opinion about it as a profession? What other questions would you have asked the falconer? Write them down. Use your own questions and role play an interview like the one above with a partner. You can choose a different profession to talk about. And for this reason, I would ask you to write a paragraph about falconry and falcon hunting. So you can write a paragraph about falconry and cover the points that we discussed together today. Now, let's move to some vocabulary that we need to learn in this class. Falcon, falconer, falconry, the profession itself, migratory, مهاجر, sanctuary, محمية, a wildlife sanctuary, محمية للحياة البرية شباب, equipment, معدات, أجهزة, lucrative means profitable, مربح, having a lot of money. And with this we've come to the end of our class today. Thank you so much, and hopefully